What you're going to need at that point is permission, like for 3 months, say 6 months maybe. The auction's going to take 21 days. You're going to have a little learning curve to figure out eBay, things like that, but read other ads, read real estate ads and things for sale and how the auctions go. Put in there must be moved, make sure you do that, and then take the money from the auction. It's your money. If it's a cute house, a nice house, has a architectural interest, if it has a style to it, you can get $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000 for it. Now, when you get that money, don't pay 2 months or 3 months back rent or payments on the cell phone or any of that. Forget that. You have to think of you first right now. We're going to forget about credit histories too, and we'll get into that later. This isn't important. You are. Take that money, now go and start looking in the newspaper for the land for sale. Buildable land, perkable, something quiet, out of the way, an hour from work, that's fine. An hour commute is of little sacrifice when this project finishes up. Look for sale by owner ads. As I said before, I'm talking to people who are poor. You probably have a bad credit history or no credit history, or for whatever reason a bank won't loan you money. You know the banking and mortgage industry now is in a mess, so we're just going to ignore that industry as if it doesn't even exist. You're going to go to for sale by owner. You're going to, or put an ad and say wanted to buy 2 acres, FSBO. That's what it's called, FSBO, if you hear about it mentioned on TV. There is also a FSBO.com. You're going to approach anyone that wants to sell land and say, hello, what are your terms? The terms generally are a % higher in percentage and a balloon payment at the end. Accept that. People will advise you against going with a balloon payment, but hear me out. In my own personal example, I bought 2 acres outside of Ocean City, Maryland, 6 miles outside of Fenwick Island, if you know where that place is. I believe at the time I put down $1,000. That was to pay me and Diane saved up out of a couple of weeks' pay. We put it aside. I gave the guy $1,000. It was a 7-year balloon payment, 7% interest, and we paid like $221 a month for 2 acres. 2 acres was enough for privacy, to grow trees, to let your kids play outside and let your dogs run without leashes. Have a garden, have some peace and quiet, and get away from the rest of the world. That's why that 60-mile, 50-mile commute into Boston or Raleigh or any other city, that's what makes it worth it, okay? And now your payments never go up. There's no, do not agree to terms where variable interest rates are involved. Forget that. No, this is about a 3-sentence long contract. You're going to buy land from a guy or a lady. This is the amount of deposit, this is the amount of the land, this is the amount of interest, and this is the balloon payment after 7 years. Make sure it's 7 years so you give yourself plenty of time. What I want you to do now is go back to before that eBay auction, when you placed that ad that said free demolition. Remember that little house? That's the one I want you to move over to the property now. It can be a humble house, a ranch house, small, neat, clean. On the webcast, we'll show you how to take houses apart, what equipment you'll need, and things like that. But now ask your friends and family to help you out. I dug footings with a shovel. Whatever you do, keep this in mind. You only have to do it once, and it doubles its value. In the course of a day, and I'm not thrilled about using a shovel, but I checked out with the building department, what's the frost line, how wide and how deep do my footings have to be. And I walked out in the yard and started digging. I just put down a string and said, okay, there's 24 feet or 60 feet or whatever it is for your house, and dug a square hole. Doesn't take any, brains. You can even do it with beer.